The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Whatcom County Fire District 19, Glacier Fire, Washington, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 38326. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. We'll get started on a brief orientation. First, a general view of the front section of the cab. We'll start at the very top with an emergency warning light on the roof and also 5 identification clearance lights. Located in the center, you'll find a forward-facing floodlight. As we move down to the grille area, further down onto the front bumper extension, you'll find a tubbed storage location for your front discharge and also a swivel discharge located inside, dry deck material, and also Velcro tie down. As we move to the face of the front bumper in the center, you'll find your electronic siren and PA speaker system. There are dual air horns on the passenger and driver side, in addition with a mechanical siren located on the driver's side. There are also 2 protruding tow hooks to the front bumper, 6,000-pound direct pull, headlight structure, and also emergency warning and turn indicator. On the side of the bumper extension, you'll find a side-facing emergency warning light. And then as we move just up onto the body itself on the cab area is where you're going to find a marker turn indicator light, mirror housing a flat and convex mirror on the A-pillar. As we move to the door, you'll find easily accessible with a gloved hand. They are keyed door locks. You'll also find right next to that a grab handle for gaining exit and entry into the cab, and then also your SRS system information where your airbags are located in your vehicle. As we move to the driver's step area, you'll find an air inlet and also a shoreline inlet, 20 amp auto eject. Let's go ahead and go back inside the vehicle now. We'll start first with the door panel. Affixed to the door panel, safety and warning placard information. You'll also find this yellow placard from Pierce indicating information about your vehicle. We'll go over that in just a moment. You'll also find a latch and door lock combination, grab handle, and manual window control. Let's go back to that yellow placard, first starting with the information, date of manufacture, 5-digit job number, and gross vehicle weight rating. This also has the VIN number, cold tire inflation, and all of the information regarding fluid capacities, and type. Let's go ahead and go inside now into the vehicle cab area on the driver's side. First, starting at the base of the seat when plugged into Shoreline Power, your battery charging system indicator will indicate battery status. Also, air ride seat control, comfort controls. As we move to about the left knee of the operator, you're going to find at the foot level, accelerator and brake. Moving upward, you'll find your master battery switch, quarter turn, engine, transmission, ABS, J1939 diagnostic port, ABS diagnostics, DPF regen, engine diagnostics, and regen inhibit switches. Let's move just up from the same area where you'll find your pump shift. There are instructions from road to pump and then also from pump to road. Just as a reminder, when exiting the cab for pump operations, you need 2 green indicators, pump engaged and OK to pump, indicating for pump operations. As we move up to the dash on the left, you'll find the start and ignition switch. Just inside that location, you'll find a switch labeled EM, stands for Emergency Master. This will engage or disengage all emergency lights. Headlight switch and a panel switch allowing you to brighten or lights previewed within the driver for dimming or brightening. On the dash cluster itself, you're going to find the transmission oil, def level, and water temp. On the right, you're going to find front air, rear air, fuel, and volts. Located in the center, tachometer and speedometer. Diagnostic information regarding your vehicle will display both above the speedometer and also below the speedometer and in the panel in the very center. Let's move just to the right of the steering column where you'll find the OK to engage your high idle switch and also indicator. You'll also find the main mirror and convex mirror just to the right of the operator, along with the pull to apply your system parking brake and push to release. These are your rear brakes. Also to the right, the Allison transmission pad, digital readout, push button. Moving to the right, a few switch panels here, engine brake on and off, settings for low, medium, and high for that engine brake, a few future switch locations if they're necessary, load manager, and mirror heat. Let's move up from this location where you'll find your electronic siren and PA speaker system. Moving further to the right, you're going to find your windshield wiper fluid. Push for that and rotate for on and off. Climate control for heat, air conditioning, and defrost. Moving to the right in the next panel is where you're going to find 12-volt access. These are USB style. Moving further to the right, you have a siren brake for your EQ2B and also a air horn push button. In the very center console, you'll find additional storage location. Just to the right, you have a raised panel for equipment mounting on these provisions. And then overhead, you'll find seatbelt information, red indicating someone is in the seat and not belted, green they're in the seat and belted. Also, do not move your apparatus when this light is on. It is indicating you have a compartment door open or ajar. Air conditioning unit directly overhead. As we move further to the left and right, you'll find push on and off red or white lens lights directly over each seat. And also on the driver's seat, this yellow placard indicating height, length, and gross vehicle weight rating. We do have a set of switches located just to the right of this location. Let's go ahead and start first with the emergency master switch, roof light, front warning, side warning, lower rear warning, and upper rear warning. When any of these switches have been activated, the green light within the switch will illuminate. Let's move just to the right to an additional switch panel where you'll find a high beam flash and electric horn or air horn switch. To the right, you'll find your scene lights. We have a front scene, driver scene, passenger scene, and rear scene. Once again, when you depress any of the switches, depending on the switch, the light should illuminate, indicating that the switch has been active and the light is on. Moving now to the front axle where you have Goodyear tires, Alcoa wheels, and a visual sight gauge in the very center of the axle. Just above the window here, you'll find a side-facing floodlight. As we move to the rear cab door, you'll find an easily accessible grab handle. Moving now to the rear step area where it is lighted. As we move from this location into the cab area, once again, a fixed door panel, safety and warning placard information, door lock and latch, window control, and a grab handle. At the hinge point, you'll also find a grab handle, which is red in color. This is for making it easier to get in and out of the cab area. As we move inside the cab, on the very bottom section is where you'll find your heater vent. Above the heater vent, you'll find additional storage with netting. There is also an LED light and an adjustable shelf inside this space. Let's go ahead and move toward the center section where you'll find a lift and turn latch will gain you access to the rear portion of the engine where all your daily checks are for oil and transmission. Air conditioning unit above, and also once again push on and off white or red lens lights. 2 forward-facing comfort seats. As we move to the exterior now, we're at the midsection of the truck. You'll find the number 1 crosslay and number 2 crosslay. These are both foam capable. Let's move to the pump panel area. On the vertical wall is where you'll find fold down steps for gaining access to go aloft on the truck. And let's start now with the pump panel itself. In the gray area, you're going to find your master intake and master discharge gauge. In between the 2 of those gauges, you're going to find the test gauge ports. These are for vacuum and pressure. They are currently plugged and these are utilized for testing purposes. Let's move just to the right of this location where you'll find a fall hazard warning. Always climb on or off the vehicle facing the vehicle. You'll also find some additional warning placards regarding entanglement hazard because those lines coming from aloft, there is the possibility of entanglement. Your vehicle is equipped with a Husky 3 foam system. This is the specification placard. As we move to the right in the red module, this is your Husky 3 foam system module, foam instructions, and then also foam level A indicator for the amount of foam in the foam tank. As we move further to the right, you'll find your pressure throttle governor. In the same vicinity, you'll find the red circular audible speaker. The outer edge of that bezel rotates, allowing you to dampen or increase sound. To the right, a switch panel and also an OK to pump indicator if you've properly engaged your pump. We do have a front discharge, crosslay 1 and crosslay 2. All three of these are foam capable. As we move further to the right in the discharge area, we're going to find the deluge discharge and also a rear driver's side discharge, which is also foam capable. Push to prime, air prime, minimum instructions for at least 1,000 RPMs for best practices. As we move to the left, you'll find your minimum operation maintenance schedule for your test pressures, also a rotational engine cooler, and then just beneath this, you're going to find your tank fill recirculating line and also tank to pump lever. Let's move down and just to the left of this location where you'll find your large diameter passenger side discharge. This is a wheel valve. Moving to the right, once again, drivers 1, 2, and 3. These are the 2.5-inch discharges on the driver and passenger side. As we move downward from this location, you'll find the number 1 and number 3 2.5-inch discharges on the driver's side of the vehicle. Also, the Pierce logo American Flag Eagle. This is your large diameter pump inlet. A warning placard indicating do not mix different brands of foam for the possibility of foam failure. Also to the right, the draft foam tank lever and also foam tank fill. As we move down, you'll find your main pump drain. As we move further down in this pump panel, you'll find the manual pump shift. Just to the left of this location is where you're going to find the Whatcom placard indicating the type of pump you have and also the capacity, 1,500 GPM. Also an additional warning placard here regarding pressure hazard. Caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening them. Warning, only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment, and that's only after proper training. As we move to the right, you'll find the driver's side auxiliary inlet, 2.5-inch locally controlled ball valve, female inlet. Once again, the Whatcom placard, and on the opposite side, all of our color-coded and labeled discharge drains. As we move just underneath the running board area, you'll find additional drains here. Let's go ahead and move through some of the compartments now. First, starting with the driver's side of the vehicle, roll-up compartment doors. As we move to the very top section, you'll find a walkway light. As we move into the compartment, this is closest to the pump panel. We have 3 adjustable shelves, LED lighting, and also ventilation. Also on the vertical plane of the wall is where you'll find your battery charger. When plugged into shoreline power, this becomes active, charging your batteries. Just in front of the rear axle, you'll find a mid marker. This is a marker turn indicator. Also the same location where you'll find your depth fill location. This is the blue cap. And just above that, you'll find 2 SCBA bottle storage locations here, along with retaining straps for safety. Once again, Goodyear tire Alcoa wheel. As we move more toward the rear portion of the axle, you'll find a side-facing emergency warning light. And right next to this is where you'll find 2 additional SCBA bottle storage locations with retaining straps. As we move further down, you'll find the ultra low sulfur diesel fill location. It is the silver cap. As we move up to the compartment over the rear axle is where you're going to find an additional SCBA storage, either packs or bottles. And then to the rear of the axle, you'll find your folding wheel chock. As we move to the very rear compartment, this is a pass-through compartment, meaning it runs from passenger to driver's side. At the very top section, you'll find an emergency warning light. And at the very top area here on the vertical side sheet, you'll find a side-facing floodlight. Let's move around now to the rear of the apparatus, just a quick view, and we'll start identifying items within this area next. First, let's start at the very top section with a rear-facing scene light. This is at the very top section of the vehicle. License plate holder and light. This is on the driver's side rear. As we move down, you'll find the rear scene light switch and also hose bed light switch. These are cupped, recessed switches. At the top, you'll find an emergency warning light, brake, turn, and reverse light. We do have additional fold-down steps for gaining access to go aloft. In this same vicinity, you'll also find the driver's side rear 2.5-inch discharge. We do have a few warning placards. First, let's start with warning regarding entanglement hazard. Because the line's coming out of the hose bed, there's the possibility of entanglement. Also, pressure hazard. Caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening them. As we move to the right, you'll find a fall hazard. When climbing onto the vehicle or off, always face the vehicle. And then to the right, you're going to find a warning here regarding fall hazard. Never ride on the vehicle while it is in motion. As we move to the center compartment, you can see the fold down steps on the left and right, also a pull-out tray and a pull-out shelf. Just underneath the rear portion of the running board, you'll find an additional tow hook. And then as we move back up to the very top section here, you'll find your ladder storage. D-handle gains you access, pike pole storage, 10-foot attic, 24-foot extension, and a 14-foot roof. Let's move around now to the passenger side of the vehicle. Same configuration and layout as we've previously seen. Emergency warning light, side-facing scene light. As we move into the compartment, you'll find adjustable shelves. Once again, pass-through compartment, LED lights, and you'll also find ventilation. At the rear of the axle, you do have some mud flaps on the passenger and driver's side. And also, same configuration as we move through, SCBA bottle storage for 2 SCBA bottles, in addition with retaining straps. As we move to that rear axle, once again, Goodyear tires and Alcoa wheel. Let's move directly above this location to the next compartment where you'll find tool storage. This is a tool board. D-handle gains you access to the back side. When the door is completely open or tool board is completely open, it will lock into position with the release mechanism on the back hinge side. Moving forward, you'll find SCBA bottle storage for 2 SCBA bottles again. This is directly in front of the rear axle with retaining straps. Extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures do exist, especially during regen operation. Be cautious where you choose to park your vehicle. Let's go ahead and move forward to the next compartment, just in front of the rear axle. Adjustable shelf, SCBA bottle storage or pack storage, ventilation, and once again LED lighting. As we move to the pump panel itself, starting at the very bottom section, you'll find all of our color-coded and labeled discharge drains. Moving up from that location, a warning regarding pressure hazard. Once again, caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening them. As we move to the left, the Pierce logo American Flag Eagle large diameter inlet. Also, you'll find this green large diameter passenger side discharge, and then also a 2.5-inch discharge on the passenger side. Also, you're going to find controls for your cab lift. There are instructions to raise and also to lower. Just as a reminder, make sure all items are secured with inside the cab prior to moving the cab or tilting. Let's go ahead and move up from this location here, where we'll find an additional warning placard information. This is going to be warning regarding entanglement hazard because those lines coming from the crosslays. As we move to the very top, once again, crosslay 1 and crosslay 2. These are both foam capable crosslays. Let's go ahead and move now into the passenger side cab area. Let's first start with the step well into the cab area, which is illuminated. And as we move inside the cab, you'll find the heater and also your red grab handle located at the hinge point. As we move inside the cab, you'll find that lift and turn latch in the very center for gaining access for doing your daily checks for oil and transmission. Also, additional cabinet space here, adjustable shelving just inside this compartment. You'll also find 12-volt fuse box located in the inside section just above the adjustable shelf. Once again, 2 forward-facing comfort seats. As we move to the door panel, safety and warning placard information, door lock and latch, grab handle, and manual window controls. As we move to the front axle, Goodyear tires and also Alcoa wheel, and then also you're going to find the visual sight gauge in the very center of the axle. Let's go ahead and move up to the very top section, just above the window, where you'll find a side-facing cab scene light. As we move forward into the space of the officer area, once again, the step well is illuminated. As we move now inside, you'll find on the A pillar is the fill location for your windshield wiper fluid. Your vehicle is equipped with a supplemental restraint system, airbags. This is where that is located. Also, please do not mount anything within this area, or at least seek advice prior to mounting. Under the seat pedestal, you'll find a lift and turn latch, gains you access into the space under the seat for storage. You'll find these red and white candy cane style labels throughout the vehicle. They are indicating a spare wire is behind that panel, and it does have the termination type and also the option number, so you'll know exactly what that wire is for. As we move overhead into the cab space, once again, push on and off white or red lens lights. And then as we move to the forward section, you'll find the front scene, driver's side, passenger side, and rear scene lights. Congratulations, Whatcom County Fire District 19, Glacier Fire, Washington, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 38326. If you have any questions regarding your vehicle, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.